Halloween, a night for tricks, treats, and tales that send shivers down your spine. But these aren't your typical spooky stories. These are real accounts, whispered in hushed tones, of encounters with the unknown. Tonight, I bring you 4 real Halloween stories, dark tales that will make your skin crawl. Get ready to face true fear, if you dare. Let's begin. Imagine a family, new to town, excited for a fresh start. They were filled with hope and dreams of new beginnings. They found the perfect house, but the property next door was off. It seemed to cast a shadow over their newfound happiness. An old mansion, shrouded in shadows, stood silent and neglected. Its presence was a stark contrast to the lively neighborhood. The windows were boarded up, the yard overgrown, a testament to years of abandonment. It was as if time had forgotten this place. But there was something else, something strange, an unsettling atmosphere that seemed to emanate from the very walls. Every night, a faint light would flicker within the mansion. It was a mystery that no one could explain. On Halloween night, the youngest son, full of curiosity, was drawn to the mysterious house. The allure of the unknown was too strong to resist. He slipped away from the festivities, his heart pounding with fear and excitement. The thrill of adventure beckoned him forward. He approached the house, the old gate creaking open with a groan. It was as if the house was inviting him in. The front door was slightly ajar. A sense of foreboding filled the air. A chill wind whistled through, carrying the scent of decay. The house seemed to breathe with a life of its own. He called out, "Hello? Is anyone home?" Only silence answered. The emptiness was deafening. Mustering his courage, he stepped inside, the floorboards groaning beneath his weight. Each step echoed through the hollow halls. The flickering light was gone, replaced by oppressive darkness. It was as if the house had swallowed the light. He saw it, scrawled on the wall, in a child's handwriting, "Leave before it's too late." The message sent chills down his spine. Cold fear washed over him. He turned to run, but it was too late. The house seemed to close in around him. The air grew heavy, stealing his breath. He tried to call out, but no sound escaped. Everything went black. The darkness consumed him. His parents, frantic with worry, searched through the night. Their desperation grew with each passing hour. They found his small footprints leading to the mansion's lawn, but there they ended. It was as if he had walked into another world. It was as if he had vanished into thin air. The mystery deepened with every unanswered question. The police were called, but no trace of the boy was ever found. The case remained unsolved, a haunting enigma. Weeks later, the mansion was demolished. The town hoped to bury its dark secrets. Locals say that on quiet nights, you can still hear a child's voice calling out from the empty lot. A ghostly echo of the past, a haunting reminder that some doors are best left unopened. The past has a way of lingering, and some mysteries are better left unsolved. The haunted house on the corner remains a chilling tale of the unknown. Picture a lone farmhouse, silhouetted against a Halloween sunset. The sky is painted in hues of orange and purple, casting an eerie glow over the landscape. In the adjacent cornfield, a scarecrow stands guard, its tattered clothes fluttering in the gentle breeze. Our story centers on a farmer, a solitary man who worked his land with quiet determination. Day in and day out, he toiled under the sun, nurturing his crops with care. As Halloween approached, he battled a persistent flock of crows. These black-winged invaders threatened to ruin his hard-earned harvest. Determined to protect his harvest, he constructed a scarecrow. He hoped this lifeless guardian would ward off the pesky birds. He gathered old clothes, stuffing them with straw, and fashioned a grotesque face. The scarecrow's eyes were hollow, its mouth twisted into a sinister grin. He hoisted the scarecrow onto a pole in the center of his field, hoping it would stand as a silent sentinel. As darkness fell on Halloween night, the farmer sat by his window, unease settling over him. The wind outside began to pick up, howling through the trees. The wind howled, casting eerie shadows that danced across the walls of his home. He glanced out at the field, his gaze drawn to the scarecrow. It stood there, unmoving, yet something felt off. It stood there, motionless, silhouetted against the moonlit sky. The moonlight gave it an almost lifelike appearance, but then it seemed to move. The farmer blinked, unsure if his eyes were playing tricks on him. The scarecrow was turning, its head slowly pivoting towards the farmhouse. The movement was deliberate, almost menacing. Panic surged through the farmer as the scarecrow began to move towards the house. His heart pounded in his chest. He fumbled for his shotgun, his hands trembling. He had never felt such fear before. He had heard tales of scarecrows coming to life, but dismissed them as superstition. Now those tales seemed all too real. Now he knew the stories were true. The realization hit him like a cold wave. He raised the shotgun but hesitated. Could he really shoot a scarecrow? It was just a scarecrow, he told himself, just straw and old clothes. But the eyes, those empty, soulless eyes, told a different story. They seemed to bore into his soul. The scarecrow continued its relentless advance. Each step it took seemed to echo in the farmer's ears. The farmer fired, but the shot had no effect. The scarecrow didn't flinch. It continued its approach, undeterred. The farmer fired again and again, but it was futile. The scarecrow seemed invincible. He was out of ammunition. Desperation set in as he realized he had no more bullets. The scarecrow reached the porch, paused, then smashed through the front door. The sound of splintering wood filled the air. The next morning, the farmer was gone. The house was eerily silent. The house stood empty, its door hanging open. It was as if the life had been sucked out of it. The only sign of the farmer's fate was a single muddy footprint on the porch. It was a haunting reminder of the night's events. The scarecrow was gone from the field. The once guarded crops now stood unprotected. Rumors spread of a scarecrow seen wandering the roads at night. People whispered of its eerie presence, its clothes stained with what appeared to be blood, and its empty eyes searching. The legend of the scarecrow grew, a tale of terror that would be told for generations. Chapter 3. The Toymaker's Curse. Halloween. A time for costumes, candy, and curses? Our next story delves into the unsettling world of antique toys. Imagine a young boy, his eyes sparkling with excitement, at a flea market. He stumbles upon an old toy, crafted from wood and cloth, its painted features frozen in a disturbingly cheerful grin. Despite the unsettling feeling it evoked, the boy couldn't resist its allure. He pleaded with his parents to buy it for him. That night, the boy lay in bed, the toy clutched tightly in his arms. He couldn't shake the feeling that he was being watched. Suddenly, the room was filled with a high-pitched, cackling laugh. The boy's eyes flew open, his heart pounding. The laughter was coming from the toy. It was rocking back and forth on the shelf, its painted grin wider than ever. The boy's parents rushed into his room to find him cowering beneath his blankets. They tried to calm him, but the boy knew better. They tried to throw the toy away, but it always returned. Each time it reappeared, it seemed to grow more menacing. Then, one night, the boy vanished. The only clue left behind was the toy, its painted grin wider and more sinister than ever. Chapter 4. The Ritual. Our final tale takes us deep into a secluded forest, where a group of friends, seeking adventure on Halloween night, stumble upon a darkness far older and more terrifying than they could ever imagine. The forest, shrouded in mystery and legend, has always been a place of whispered tales and eerie occurrences. They gather around a flickering bonfire, their eyes wide with excitement and trepidation. The crackling flames cast long shadows, dancing eerily on the surrounding trees. One of them, a charismatic leader, holds aloft a weathered tome bound in what appears to be human skin. The book's cover is etched with strange arcane symbols that seem to pulse with a life of their own. The book, discovered in an abandoned house, speaks of ancient rituals and forbidden knowledge. Its pages are filled with cryptic texts and illustrations that hint at dark powers and otherworldly entities. Intrigued, they decide to attempt one of the rituals. The allure of the unknown and the promise of a thrilling experience prove too tempting to resist. They gather the necessary components: candles, incense, a silver chalice, and a lock of hair from each member. Each item is placed with reverence, as if they are aware of the gravity of their actions. As the witching hour approaches, they arrange themselves in a circle around the bonfire. The air is thick with anticipation and a sense of foreboding. The leader begins to chant, his voice low and guttural. The words are foreign, ancient, and seem to resonate with the very soul of the forest. The air grows heavy, charged with unseen energy. It feels as though the forest itself is holding its breath, waiting. The flames sputter and hiss, casting grotesque shapes. Shadows twist and contort, taking on forms that seem almost alive. Suddenly, the wind picks up, swirling around them with unnatural force. The temperature plummets, and a chill runs down their spines. A low hum vibrates through the air, growing steadily in intensity. It feels as though the very ground beneath them is trembling. The leader raises the silver chalice, his voice rising in a frenzied crescendo. The chant becomes more urgent, more desperate. The symbols in the book begin to glow. A strange, otherworldly light emanates from the pages, casting an eerie glow on their faces. And then, everything goes silent. The sudden stillness is deafening, as if the world itself has paused. The friends stare at each other, their faces pale with terror. The realization of what they have done begins to sink in. One by one, they turn their gaze to the center of the circle. The leader is gone. Panic grips the group as they realize the gravity of their actions. They flee the clearing, their screams swallowed by the oppressive silence of the woods. The forest seems to close in around them, as if it is alive and aware of their presence. Locals say that every year on Halloween, strange lights can be seen flickering in the depths of the forest. These lights are said to be the spirits of those who dared to perform the ritual, forever trapped in the forest's embrace. As the veil between our world and the unknown thins on this Halloween night, remember the stories we've shared. Those were 4 real stories that will make anyone think twice before turning off the lights this Halloween. If you enjoyed these chilling tales, make sure to subscribe, leave a like, and hit the bell for more spine-tingling stories. Until next time, and remember, true terror might be closer than you think.